Hey guys, thank you for logging on to this week's blog. Well, to let you guys know a little bit of an update, I have the limo running now, hired a worker, and so far so good. We're actually driving a lot of cops around and no one stopped us or nothing like that, so hopefully we're all right. So I want to tell you about what we're going to talk about on this week's blog. In this week's blog, we're going to talk about what we have to do to become a resident. Now, there's different types of visas. There's different types of ways that you can actually become a resident. And the one I'm going to talk about is basically non-lucrative. Basically, you make money in your country of origin or anywhere else, and you meet the minimal monthly income for you to go ahead and to be able to maintain and hold such a residency. But generally, most of the residencies are actually all the same. If you look at the residency requirements and the visas are usually the same. If you want to become an entrepreneur, meaning you want to open up a business or so many other things, they're all kind of the same. The difference is just, some of the requirements. A very popular one is a non-lucrative. You have the ability to come live in Spain. You can't work, but it's the easiest route to at least get that going. So if you want to change over your visa to something else, you can go ahead and do it. The other ones, you have like the entrepreneur visa. You have a whole bunch of different types. So I'm going to talk to you guys about the requirements. I got the list here, and then from here, I'm going to tell you about what it says on the website and what really is going to happen. So, all right. So if you're going to apply, you have to apply within a radius. So for example, in the US, it'll be if you live in Florida or Georgia, you got to go to the consulate that's in Florida, that's in Miami. But if you live in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, you basically will have to go down to the Miami consulate. You need to book an appointment. Without an appointment, they will not allow you to process the visa. Sometimes it's booked, so make sure you booked up a lot. So make sure you go ahead and do that early in advance. So also, you got to make sure you have an identification from that state of origin. Why? Because when you do a background check, you got to do a background check, okay? You got to send it all to your local or your state police. They'll send it back to you that you're cleared. After it's cleared, then you got to send it out to the postal service. And after you get that, then you're criminally cleared to get a visa. The process was going to take you about a month or a month and a week or so. So make sure you have ample time to get that done. Also, your paperwork only lasts about 3 months. So, meaning if you got the apostle stamp in February, you have 3 months to go ahead and get into Spain. So you want to make sure your paperwork does not expire. So you have a certain time period to get to Spain. So you have about 90 days. In my case, I started in January. I got the stamp somewhere towards the middle of February, and I got into Spain in May. So that's kind of how it went for that particular paperwork. So here on the website it says you're gonna need 2 applications. You'll need some passport size photos. You need to show that you are, let's say U.S. citizen. So if you have a passport, show that you have a U.S. citizen, that you are a U.S. citizen. And also here too, you gotta go through a health exam. You gotta take a health exam. A health exam is go to any doctor, and you need to make sure it's translated in Spanish. And the same thing for your other document as well, which is the background check. You need to make sure that it's in Spanish. If not, they will not accept it. So make sure it's in Spanish. So go to your local doctor, get a full medical test. You can't have no diseases or infectious diseases. They have a long list there. Some of these lists, some here on the list is like, it's weird stuff like cholera and yellow fever and Ebola and a lot of other kind of weird stuff out there. So most Americans, you won't have to worry about such an issue like that. So usually the background, well, it took me for the medical background. I did a test. It took me about a week around there. So I had the paperwork there, what, a week, and it was signed by the doctor. The doctor signed it, and with that was a good thing to go. Now, your hard part, when we look at here, is proof of income. So you need to prove that you still make money in America even though you're not there. So either you got a pension, or you got a retirement fund, or you got something going on. Maybe you even work from home. You just got to prove you actually make a certain amount of money. And actually it's pretty low. It's actually only about 2,100 euros a month. Show you make that, good to go to get a nice visa there. And it allows you to live in Spain for a year before you need to go ahead and redo it again. Also, the fee is actually pretty cheap. It's only about $150 to get the fee for the application. So it's actually pretty cheap, the application process there. So the big one I want to talk to you about, but before I get into that, is when we're talking about here, well, you got health insurance. I'm gonna go over that in a minute because that's the big pain in the ass. So you gotta have health insurance to become a Spanish resident. And to get health insurance, you cannot go and just purchase a $30 policy. No, you need to have Spanish health insurance from a Spanish company. You cannot have no type of overseas, international, they will not accept it. Now here's the catch-22. If you want to buy health insurance, you have a few options. You need to have a Spanish bank account. So without a Spanish bank account, you can't buy the health insurance. So for most people, it's a huge conundrum. When I was going, I went back and forth with the agency for like a week. Like, I'm like, yo, you guys are driving me crazy. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to buy health insurance if I don't have a Spanish bank account? You can't get a Spanish bank account if you're not a resident. You can't even get a cell phone in Spain if you don't have a bank account. So it's a huge conundrum. It's a huge catch-22. So what did I do? I got lucky. One of my good friends actually allowed me to use his bank account. I used his bank account to get the health insurance, and I was able to get cleared. But they were not going to clear me. They said, "Listen, you can't do it." And I was going crazy. I'm like, "Yo, you guys need to help me. You guys are actually killing me here." So after a fight went on for about a week, I finally got through, and I got I had got it. So how long does it take you to get approved? It takes about a month, depending on the visa you're going to take. If you go non-lucrative, meaning you still make income somewhere else or a certain amount of money, it'll take about a month. If you want to do like entrepreneur, that's 3 to 6 months. It's a long process. So I suggest you do non-lucrative, then change it over to a business or whatever you want to do. That's going to be your easiest route. If not, you're going to have to wait a long time, and it's a simple yes or no. And then from there, you're going to come over to Spain. They're going to give you like this paperwork, and with that, you go to the local, it's like the office of foreigners, and in that office they're going to give you an ID. And it allows you to come in and out of Spain, and it allows you to be basically a resident. You won't get bothered by nobody. You can enjoy and live here, and for the rest of your life, basically. And also, too, they attach the visa right on the passport, so it'll be right on the passport, so you won't have no issues. You come in and out of customs, you won't have no problem. When I went over to Dubai, I came in and out. They didn't even say nothing. They said, "Okay, welcome. Hey, you went to Dubai? Cool. All right, welcome back." And that's pretty much it. The renewal process is actually pretty easy as well. All you have to do is make sure you have medical insurance, make sure you make enough money, and that's it. And so that's this episode on what do you have to do to become a resident. Now remember, it is a pain in the ass, and you're going to probably go back for 3-4 times. So you need to be prepared for that. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, and I'll be here for you guys. All right, guys. Thank you, guys. Have a great week.